Hi, this video is to help you understand kind of the best ways to memorize or really understand how the unit circle works. So I'm going to focus mainly on patterns that will help you memorize it quickly rather than just having you memorize every single point along the curve. So the first thing to know when drawing the unit circle is how to set up your coordinate plane. So it's the typical XY coordinate plane that you would normally use. And I'm going to go ahead and draw that right here in the middle. Okay, so here's your coordinate plane. When you're doing the coordinate plane, you know that a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. So the easiest ones to fill out are what you call your quadrantals. Your quadrantals are anything along the either the x-axis or the y-axis. So your first quadrantal would be 0 degrees. Let me change this. Your second one would be 90 degrees, and it should make sense because this right here is a right angle. So if this is 0, you come over here, that should be 90. And these are all actually right angles. So then this would be 180 degrees. If you come down here, this would be 270 degrees. And if you come back around, this would be 360 degrees. Something to keep in mind is we can keep going. So I can just keep adding 90 every time I move around. So the top could be 360 plus 90 or 450. The left side could be 360 plus 180 or 540, so on and so forth. You can really keep going forever. It can go towards infinity, really. Okay, so those are the quadrantals. Notice how I'm not doing anything with radians. I'm just going to focus on degrees for this lesson. Now, the next thing to consider is your angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the angles, and I'm going to color code them. I'm not going to tell you why I'm color coding them yet, but that'll become apparent shortly. So do maybe that. I'm trying to make all these green angles be about the same distance from the x-axis. It might not look perfect, but I hope that any kind of flaw in that won't be too much of a distraction. That one right there. Put that one right there. All right, now I'm going to do another color for the next ones. This color scheme will probably be more useful to you when I do radians. Might not be as useful right now as I'm doing degrees. But sorry about this. I know this isn't the most fun to watch. Let me just draw some colors here. Go with bright blue. Okay, so there we have it. We have some pretty almost spider-like looking structure. All right, so the best way to memorize this is to keep in mind that any distance between any axis in the first line is 30 degrees. So what I mean by that is here I'm going from the positive x-axis to my first line. That's 30 degrees. Here I'm going from a line to my y-axis to a line, negative x-axis line there and there, negative y-axis line and line, and back here, line and line. So this is the difference between an axis and a line. These units are always 30 degrees. So I'm going to say down here, 30 degrees between, oh, actually I think that's getting cut off the page. Let me bring that back. So in white, I'm going to say 30 degrees between line and axis. So that's the first line next to it, not all the other ones. And then over here, in a very different color, maybe I'm going to use a yellow color, in between any two of these lines is going to be 15 degrees. Oops. So I'm going to call these angle lines. So between angle lines equals 15 degrees. Okay, so now I'm just going to basically go around the unit circle and show you how you can apply these properties that I just told you about in order to fill in the unit circle as far as degrees go. So if there's 30 degrees between any axis and any line, this would be 30 degrees. 15 degrees between any two lines, well, I'm going to add 15 to 30. I'm going to get 45. I'm going to add 15 again. Sorry, it keeps popping up on the screen, but I'm going to get 60 degrees. Now here, I'm between a line and an axis, I'm going to add 30 degrees. Well, between 60 and 90, that is 30, so that kind of verifies that what we're doing is right. Next, I'm going to go from 90 degrees to the next line, and that's a 30-degree increase. So this right here is going to be 120 degrees. Next, I'm moving in between two lines. It's going to be an additional 15 degrees. So this would be 135 degrees. And again, this next one's between two lines. This little yellow angle down here. So that would be 150 degrees. After that, 30 degrees to get to the quadrantal, and then another 30 degrees to get from my 180 or my negative x-axis quadrantal to the next one. So that would be 210. Another 15, 225. At this point, hopefully you're able to really just skip ahead to the end of the video and fill out the rest of the circle. 30 degrees to 270. From 270, 30 degrees will give me 300, followed by 330, followed by 360. So basically what I have here is I've filled out the unit circle as far as degrees go. And that'll be one thing. When you do this, you'll probably get a point for each set of degrees. You'll get a point for each set of radians, which I'll cover in the next video. And then you're going to get points for both the x and the y point, each x and y point. So that's that. In the next video, I'm going to go ahead and discuss how you can do this with radians.